Let's talk about comparing one version to another. So once you have an analysis, or actually more than one analysis, you can run a comparison. So let's go back to the assets file. And the first time I ran this, I just generated the DDR right away. But then I didn't make any changes. I made some slight changes in the second version, and then I made significant changes here. But I can't really tell by just looking at this. Looks like I've introduced problems, but I don't really see what happened. So let's go back 1 second. Let's look at the second analysis and compare it to the first. With comparison, you can do a number of things. You have different levels of views to the data. So once you've selected an analysis and a prior analysis, you can go to the dashboard right away, and anything that you see lighting up in green here, okay, these things here are additions. If you had deletions, they would be showing up as red. So I've added 2 scripts, and those 2 scripts, I've added 20 steps in all, and as a result, I've added 13 calculations and 13 script step calculations. But let's say I go and look at the most recent analysis and compare that to the first. We'll see a very different picture. Basically, I went through there and I deleted 19 fields, I deleted 2 scripts, I deleted a bunch of layout objects. Basically, I just created a big mess, and that's represented here with all these red numbers showing up. And the only thing I've increased is my number of problems. So, not a good situation. Another thing that we can do real quick is, let me go back to the second analysis compared to the first. Once I have selected a current and prior analysis, if I drill into any view, I'll instantly see right away the current analysis is always on the bottom right. The prior analysis is on bottom left. So analysis number 2 compared to analysis number 1, I can see that these 2 scripts were added. They're brand new. And these ones are modified. So I can click on the delta triangle, and I can see that run with full access was changed from false to true. Let's see what else was changed here. I have this script, the document was changed. So I had this 1 step in it, and I added these extra steps to it. Let's see if we have something else. References were changed, and that's about it. If we look at, just take a quick peek at divvy up, and we'll go look at the same thing with scripts. There was a lot of additions in scripts here. So look at the document, and now we'll see like a side by side. This is the old version of the script, and this is the new version of the script. So the way to read these numbers in the middle is that the green indicates additions, orange indicates modifications, and red indicates deletions. And so there were 2 insertions of 75 characters. Here's the first one, and here's the second one. There were 2 deletions of total of 18 characters. So here's 1 deletion right here, and then here's the other deletion. So, so that's how you would read those numbers, and that's consistent in another view when you look at comparison reports. Okay, so let's go back. So that's actually being in the view of the data. So when you have a comparison, a prior analysis selected, you get those additional markers showing up here. If you simply select an analysis from here, it'll automatically remove the prior analysis, being something that's selected. So when you navigate over, you don't get those additional items showing there. If we go, one last thing about comparisons, I'll compare that most recent analysis to the first analysis, and I'll say, let's say, script. I want to check only scripts for changes. Script changes. And I'll run that. It runs through all the scripts and notes exactly what was changed. And you'll get a detailed report like this, summarized by database, by area, and then by additions, deletions, and modifications. And just like I mentioned before, these areas in the middle here give you these numbers in the middle represent when some item that can be modified, added to, or deleted, like a string. And sometimes you have numeric values like the number of references. So the reference count for this script changed from 5 to 4 because a button was deleted or something. And I can click here and I can get a side-by-side view. So basically, by deleting that field, I caused all kinds of problems in this script. Or by deleting a number of fields, I ended up causing all these different problems. So this is also like one of those tearaway windows. So you can keep this floating and go and drill into certain areas if you need to by just clicking on the row. So that's comparison.